Ed Surname, welcome along.
Hello.
Now, you're filming yourself, but this is... Right, well, first of all, why don't you tell us a bit about this project that you've done?
It's true. I did film my life for 20 years, 24 hours a day. But the important thing is, in that 20-year period, I went into comedy. So I did sketch comedy, radio, TV appearances, stand-up. And so from all this footage, because I got all the intimate stuff, my thoughts on the process, I've been able to make this film about what it's like to follow your dreams in comedy.
Okay. So this is like a feature film?
That's right.
Okay. And how do you start editing? How many minutes?
I was stressed out of my mind. I was stressed out of my mind. I mean, I haven't watched it all back, obviously, because I
would take you up to...
Yeah, I mean, I'd be 50, yeah. But, no, the film's 90 minutes with probably about 10 years of deleted scenes on the DVD. I was playing at the Camden Fringe, and I'm here to promote it under the guise of a polite chat.
That's a good idea. Well, we're having you here, under the guise of a polite chat to fill in time until about 1:15. What gave you the idea to start doing this?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't start as me thinking, right, in 20 years I'm going to make this film.
Right.
For the Camden Fringe. It started as just a hobby.
The Camden Fringe didn't exist then?
No, I know. But I mean, for anything, the end goal that it's turned out to be was never planned. I started doing it for fun, and then as I went into comedy, because I started filming all of the other stuff, I realised I had something here. You know, it was actually before social media, before everyone else did things like YouTube. So I had all of it, and it's only later, probably about in the last 3 years, I decided I could make a film out of it.
And did you edit this yourself?
I edited it myself, and I taught myself how to edit it as well. Excitingly, that's why I'm pleased. It's been up for 4 awards, and so it's really like, I'd like to think it's an inspiring story. It took me from editing on my laptop to literally to the red carpet back in February when it was at the festival.
Amazing. And what did you do for money? Because listen, we're all struggling artists. How on earth did you survive?
Oh dear,
for those 20 years?
Oh dear.
Should I not ask you that question?
Well,
because it's it begs the.
I haven't lied in the film. I don't lie in any of my work.
Okay.
But and the film tries to encapsulate everything I went through, except really how a lot of it was funded. I'm going to write a book about it, but I don't want to get into legal trouble. But I can give you.
Hey, look, we hit pay dirt straight off. It's the polite chat's out the window. I'm grilling you now.
I can give you the part of the answer that I can say, which is that my family have been ever so supportive and kind, and they helped me. And so that's actually another facet of the film, is that it looks how following my dreams affected my family, because they were wanting to help me, and they did. But we got into this position where we needed it to pay off. We needed this show business thing to pay off to make up for me not having any savings at all or normal jobs.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. And the rest of it came from Saudi princes.
Oh, you
I knew it.
Read it off my facial expression.
I'm interested because obviously all of this this process that you started preempted Big Brother, preempted the whole term selfie, and it's always interesting when you watch Big Brother, which is launching this week, I think. There comes that moment where they've been in there for so long that they've become habituated to it and they drop their guard. They suddenly sort of forget about the cameras and the outside world, and that's when it starts to get interesting.
That's when the good stuff starts with mine, yeah.
How long did it take you for I guess, what would you do? Because it's 24 hours a day you filmed yourself. I mean, how did you even film? How did you film nighttime?
Well, it started. That was the easiest bit because I just had to put on a tripod.
But there were no tapes. There were no. How long were you sleeping for?
Because
did you have to change tapes?
Oh yeah. It started as a videotape, so it was a lifesaver when all this digital came in, because you couldn't predict that could have happened.
Yeah.
Back when I was 11, you wouldn't have predicted it could all go so.
And is that
easy.
how old you were when it started?
Yeah, and I'm 31 now.
That's sort of another question, and I don't know how I'm going to put this question. Hang on. Yeah, okay.
Well, the thing is, because the project's never been done before, people see the trailer, because the trailer's on YouTube. It's called Unsolicited Material, by the way. Ed's Surname, Unsolicited Material trailer. If you look at that on YouTube, it throws up a lot of questions. We'll do another plug at
the end, don't worry.
It throws up a lot of questions, because it looks to people like it's a mockumentary, but I can assure you it isn't. So if you've got any questions, I want to answer them for the public. That's what I'd like to be here to do.
Well, I remember when I was 11.
I didn't say everything makes it into the film.
Okay, that's a relief. And when I say that,
there's worse than that. Isn't there? No, honestly, like, it's good to watch it with the crowd because the crowds go. Because when I was editing it, I thought, have I lost it? Like, have I actually lost this? You know, because
I think that's a valid
I was
question.
in my own. I know.
Yeah.
I was in my own world, and I thought this is crackers, and it is crackers, undeniably. But when I watched it with the crowd, there's a scene which I'm not going to reveal where they go absolutely bonkers in the middle of it. It's good to watch it with the crowd for that reason.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's nothing like you're not going to go away from it thinking, oh, you know, you're not going to be scarred for life watching it.
Did you take the camera to the loo with you then when you went to the loo?
Well, yeah, but not as it sounds. I mean, we've gone into territory now where I'm, you know, having to fend off. Like, I'm trying to sort of defend.
No, you don't have to
the
defend
film
it.
and saying it's not that sort of thing.
No.
Yeah,
I understand that the content of the final film won't necessarily matter.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about in terms of
the
the
important
process.
thing was when I started turning the camera off when I was very young. The important things happened when the camera was off. So it became an obsession to have it on all the time.
Right.
So there's things like, so there might have been like a clip camera on me, and then when important things happen, like this, for example, you know, I've brought a tripod along.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's been different formats, different cameras, different ways of archiving it, and then the final thing, it really looks at the narrative of what it's like to follow your dreams.
Yeah. Okay. That's how it affected you. How did it affect the people around you?
Well, my parents went from being against it because it was intruding in their lives to accepting it, to giving up, to actively supporting it. So
Amazing.
we've all come out from it really good. I mean, that's one of the good things about the film. It's like a family story as well.
It's like you know what Gandhi says
No.
when you're trying to affect progressive change. He says first they ignore you,
Oh, yeah.
then they mock you, then they fight you,
Yeah.
then you win.
Yeah.
And
Isn't it
that's where you are now, right?
Yeah, the mockings lasted quite a long time.
Oh yeah, the mocking. I'm vegan. I know exactly what that feels like. And so all right, so that's that. And in the meantime, throughout all of this, you found love.
That's right. Yeah, I proposed to my wife before I even met her.
Really?
Yeah. Because when we were on Pen Pals on magazine.
Literally pen pals.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
We're not talking about an online thing.
No, I mean, we might have
exist
been
then.
the last ever people in the world to do love letters.
The last
And then we
analog
spoke
love
on the
letter.
phone, sent photos and things, and then we fell in love over the phone. I knew I was going to marry her. I proposed to her before we met, and I filmed that. But that's not actually in the film even.
Dude.
Oh,
Why would you not put that in the film?
Well, it's in a featurette
I was
that
going to
was
say,
made of me.
is that like a
Okay.
deleted scene? Or
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I could list loads of things where you would go like, well, why isn't that in there? I developed a stage show. I started developing a stage show with my actual stalker. I had a stalker that was obsessed with my online videos. That's not in there either. There's so many things that aren't in there because I'll tell you why. It's because I focused on the narrative rather than individual incidents.
Okay.
Okay.
So, and what's the narrative?
Well,
Effectively.
the narrative is that I start off very excited, innocent, thinking, great, I'm going to follow a dream, and then hit the adult world, which involves bills, needing to pay for things,
The Saudi
needing
princes.
to grow up, and things like that. And it's at odds with it's at war. My dream was at war with my knowledge that it affected my family.
This is kind of fascinating because I'm guessing you. So
That's my best review. Thank you.
That's kind of fascinating. But what I mean is you can pull out one narrative from your life from that
Yeah.
bank of material.
Oh yeah.
But then you've got the option to pull out other narratives.
I could make 10 films from my
Yeah.
footage without filming anything else. I could
Yeah.
make 10 films with different narratives. Yeah.
That's really interesting. That's really interesting.
But it's hard. I'll tell you, I don't mind admitting the flaws or the negatives of the project publicly. I don't mind talking about all of that because I'd say that one of them is people are so confused by it. They think it's either fake or they just don't know where, they just don't know what to ask if they've got so many questions. So I can assure you, if you watch it, if you actually come to watch it, then it all makes sense there and you'll be left, it's heartwarming. Walt Disney said, 50% laughs, 50% tears, and that's what it is. And it's all real.
Well, I see. Mine would have just been 100% tears, just mine. And like you're not filming yourself anymore.
Not 24/7.
You are now, right?
The important things,
Did you hear that, Con? Important.
This is important.
Thank you.
Things that
That's
are
the
not
best review I've
24/7.
ever had.
Yeah, so no, I'm not. I mean, unless I get millions from this film, then I can make a sequel. But that's not. It's not. I wouldn't say it's a mainstream thing. And
But in a way that it would sort of be problematic because I'm guessing that the joy of the footage, and I've seen, I think the trailer for the show. The joy is it's kind of like series 1 of Big Brother, where it was a kind of experiment and nobody knew what the outcome could be. And the outcome of that was that, people went on, they became sort of celebrities. And that just changed every subsequent series. Everyone going in there was a little bit more knowing, a little bit more calculated, and they had more of a plan. Whereas, of course, the joy of this footage that you've got is that you had no idea what was going to happen.
Well, me and the other people around me, the reactions and the interactions are so... When you see someone filming something with a little camera that's not got big boom mics and big production values, they are so acting as themselves because they don't think it's going to be playing as a film in the future. So, I mean, my family, they got so used to being filmed. It's probably the most relaxed subjects of a documentary ever.
Yeah, amazing. And did you? I mean, how would you explain to the usherette at a cinema? No, this camera's solely for filming me.
Oh well, I'm glad you mentioned that. The opening copyright, at the beginning of films, it says you're not allowed to film here. The bit in my film that introduces that I shot in a cinema. It's of the screen saying you can't film this film. So I mean that sets the tone.
So if people want to see this, how and where and what should they do?
Okay, well first of all, if you look for Ed's Surname Unsolicited Material on YouTube, the trailer, you can watch it at the Camden Fringe and get tickets from camdenfringe.com. It's on in August.
Okay. And if people want to, do you do the whole social media thing?
I'm on Twitter at Ed Surname. There's a link to the trailer there as well.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you so much for coming and
Thank you.
talking to us today. Really appreciate that. Ed Surname. Check the guy out. It's really, it's fascinating.